Right, now about to try and press out the crank pin. Well, press off the bottom half of the crank, off the top half. So I've got a little bit of bar here. I just turned the end down to, it's about 18 mil. Should be enough to go through. I think these crank pins are about 19 mil. So that should go through quite easily. Just got a bit of tape around there. I was actually looking for a bit of tube. I really want to put a piece of tube on there just in case that does slip. I have faced both ends, so we should be okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to stand well back, safety glasses on, and there should be a bit of a loud bang. Hopefully not the wrong sort of bang. Cool. This is tighter than the GT 380. Oh, that worked. Didn't think I was going to go for a minute. Can we slide that in? Just enough room? Yep, just enough. Again with jig. I'll have a look at this when I put my normal glasses on so I can see what I'm actually looking at. So now I just need to get this off and flip it over and do the other side. Alright, so that's set up. In the middle there. Right, give this side a go. Well, that one, that's strange, came out incredibly easy. Perhaps that was just a little bit more in line. Yeah, crank pin. So this is the jig, just basically I think that was 6 mil plate, bit cut out for the big end to go through, and just some large, what was that, 25 by 50 was it? Welded on the bottom. Yeah, 25 to 50 section. Don't look at my welds. Yeah. Well, that worked okay anyway. Yeah, Retro Mechanica is where I got that idea from. Right, let's have a look at the split crank. Right, there we are. Yeah, certainly showing signs of wear. Very polished on the edges. Crank pin. Oh yeah, you can see there's a definite ridge there. Rollers again. This, well, probably doesn't show on the camera. But they are not looking that great. Little ridge line. Yeah, so that probably was due for renewal. There is some scoring in this face, which is a little bit worrying. On this one there is even a bit of a burr. That will show up. Get it in the light right. There's a definite scrape mark around there and a burr. So I'm going to see if we can do something about that. Don't know whether I'll be able to get this on the lathe to do it. Probably not. So I just have to try and stone that edge off. That might have to be all I can do with that. Yeah, you can definitely feel it. Yeah, and I think one of these is, it looks like it's homemade. That one. Is it that one? No, maybe not. Or somebody's had a go at trying to re-drill that or something for some reason. This is really rough around the edges. I thought that was a homemade one, but it's got the little bit in there, so possibly not. Yeah, very raggedy around there. Oh, that one's the same. Yeah, that edge is just very raggedy. Seems a bit odd if it was a factory made one. The other thing is, taking these out. These have been in and out so many times. 2, 3 punch marks there. 4 there. And that's been peened over. Huge one there. Somebody really gave that some welly there. Look at that. Yeah. Actually that might even be a little bit loose. Yes, that is. Is that the side where I've got the score marks? I think that might be. So that could be the culprit. That is springy. Is it worth leaving them out? Do I get into the argument of leave these in or take them out? Yeah, at the moment that one is very loose, so I'm going to have to remove them anyway, and probably worth cleaning up behind. Whether they go back or not, another matter. Oh yeah, and when there was the that Conrod, you can see that Conrod a bit clearer now, where that has been rubbing. Is it this one? Can't remember which side it was now, but yeah, it's definitely signs of rubbing. Oh, that one. Yes, there. Look, let's get it in the light. Rubbing there. It's weird that it's got an almost square edge, and this has got a rounded edge. That's strange. Well, not rounded, kind of half rounded. Strange. Right, yeah, so I'll get all these cleaned up, sorted out, and then I'll be ready for crank pin to go in, or the new Conrod rather, to go in. Right, just about to press this crank back together. Taking the plates off, cleaned up round here. I did just actually put that in the lathe, in the chuck, the outside jaws and the chuck, and just ran round the inside just to nibble those horrible pins off. Yeah, so this plate is just a piece of 10mm plate. Got a hole bored in the middle, which will take this boss here. I did have to put a little bit of extra chamfer in there because when I put that in, actually that wasn't sitting flat because this little slight chamfer here, so I just put a corresponding bit there. Right, so that will sit through there. Yeah, so what I've got to try and do, I have a scribed mark there. I have a scribed mark in the other side. When I press the top one on, I've just got to try and line those up as best I can, and with a square, which I've got somewhere, and hopefully that will get me somewhere close. Yeah, so press this pin in this side. I'm just going to use the same drift as before, and when I put the one in this side, I've got a piece of tube which is just slightly bored out. The pin in the freezer, I'll just tape this onto there, get the pin, and hopefully that will go okay. We shall see. Oh yeah, the other thing is, I was going to true this between centres in the lathe, but actually these spindles are out. Not sure if it's this end or this end. I don't think it's quite straight. So I was getting about 2 thou between centres on each spindle. Really shouldn't get anything, well, not that much anyway, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So it's going to have to be trued or checked for true in blocks, in V blocks, which I haven't got, hence why I was going to do it between centres. So I just ordered some, so hopefully they will be here in a couple of days, but for now I can get the crank pressed back together anyway. So right, here we go, before we start to defrost too much. Down. Yeah, actually they do protrude a little bit, so yeah, that tube, and I can't do the other end, should, yeah, that's going to be pretty, have to get pretty accurate to make sure that stays there. Right, so now top half, I'm going to have to drop this down, all the while that pin is getting warmer, so it's going to get more difficult. Get this so I can see that. It's going to have to come sort of this way a bit. In line. Right there. Whip this off if I can. Bit of a tube. Do I want that way round? No, I don't, do I? What am I doing? Don't want that in there. I want that in there. In line. Back a bit. I'm not forgetting that, of course. And that. Right. Do I need to drop that? Well, hopefully that will reach. I probably could have got that actually, couldn't I? Yeah. Oh, will that go? Might be between two. Might be between 2 points here. Was it? No, actually, no, that will go. What am I thinking? Right, roughly in line. Actually, what I could do, make sure that is lined up. Get that over that pin. Right there. Did press record, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. There comes the tricky bit. too far. It's probably not too far out. Probably these flywheels, this one is slightly smaller than the other, believe it or not. Yeah, this top one is slightly smaller. Right, I think we're about there. Try and make sure this doesn't nip up one side too much. This side is much tighter going on, which I thought it would be. Are we staying level? That's moved. That has moved. So I was got to weld a couple of posts on there. Now's the time you wish you had. Right, I might just have to give that a, before that goes fully home. Or is that fully home? No. No, not quite, is it? Let's take that back up. I was going to have a premature knock. Right. That is just about back to where it should be. This lined up over here. Just laid plans and all that. I think that must be there. Yeah, so to balance this, I'll now have to wait until I get the, not balance it, true it. I shall have to wait until I get the V-blocks. I might just put it on centers just to see, for interest, just to see what it says. And then check it when I get the V-blocks. Right, so this is about 11, maybe 12 thou out. That's metric, that one that size. But they are both out in the same position, so that means we've got a little bit of pinch somewhere. So high spot will be where I spread. Which funny enough is almost where the Conrod is. Spread, pinched. Yeah. Oh, so it's pinched here, isn't it? If we put that straight, they're not going to. So that's our low spot. So it's pinched here. You'd have expected it to be pinched this end because that's where all the pressure's been. Yeah, so what we want to do is spread this a little bit, or rather pinch the other side. Pinch that a bit in the vise and see what we get. Right, so I've just squeezed that together where the Conrod is, or beyond the other side of the Conrod, to open this side up. It's a little better, still a little bit out, so that's about 5/6 thou on that side, and this side is about 3, but they are in different positions. So high spot on this side is there, high spot this side is there, so we've got a little bit of twist on it. So what do I need to do? High spot, I need to tap, if I can remember correctly, tap that side a bit. Right, so high spot has moved again, but the reading has gone back down again. So what we got, 8 thou this side, and about what would that be? It's probably about 6 thou, 7 thou that side. Right, so I'll keep chasing this down and see how tight I can get it like this, and then I'll see once I get the blocks. I'll check it again. But yeah, it's just kind of chasing your tail really until you catch up with yourself. Basically. Right, I've got that down to 5 thou that side, and probably about 5 or 6 the other side. I think what I've got to do is leave that there until I get the V blocks, because I've got that unknown 2 thou that these spindles are out, so I don't know what effect that is having. So I think I'll do that, and then yeah, hopefully we'll be a little bit closer once we measure it with the on the V blocks. Hopefully it won't be worse. But yeah, closed it up anyway, closer to what it should be. Right, so now you've got this set up in the V blocks. I've got the new bearings on there, NKE bearings, let's see, 3 tolerance. Right, and well, so far so good. This is, it's got to be within 4 thou, and ignoring the lumps and bumps and jumpy bits on there, that side is within 3 thou on the rim. So now I'll just check this other rim, and then I need to check the faces as well, which with all these punch marks is going to be difficult to get a good reading, I think. We'll give it a go anyway. Right, so this side is 6 thou, so that is a little bit over. So let's just find the high spot on there. Somewhere around there we have a high spot. Right, so high spot there, so it must be a little bit of a twist still in this. I think I'll do the rims, have a look and see what they're there, so if that gives me any more of a clue. Right, so in the faces should be within 6 thou, which I've got a little bump there, but it's not far off by the looks of it. So if I mark the that's a little bump there, yeah. So somewhere around there. There's my pen. They are high that way. Right, so this rim, face rather, low spot is somewhere around there. This is about 7, 6 or 7. There's so many lumps and bumps in there, it's hard to tell. Let's see, high spot is somewhere there. Somewhere about there. Right. Let's have a look and see what we can do about that. Right, so this has on the faces high spot here, high spot here, so I think I probably need to give that a little bit of a pinch up there, and hopefully don't overdo it. Yeah, this high spot here is right on the right where the rod is, so it's not like I can really spin, twist that. You know, if it was round here, you'd twist it round a bit, but because of where it is there, I don't think I can do much about that. It might just be the rim is a little bit a little bit out anyway, and it wasn't far out. So I think what I'll do, I'll give that a little pinch and see if we can get rid of these high spots on these faces. Right, well, I don't think I can get these much better than this. They are in spec. Yeah, it's very difficult because these rims are so punched up. But yeah, they're both within spec, so I'll now just recheck the the faces are in spec. I'll now just recheck the rims, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that much better than that. Yeah, the faces are so badly punched, or had got so many punch marks in them. The needle is all over the place, and the rims, you can see where they have been hit with a normal hammer rather than a copper or lead hammer. So there's a few dings in there, which doesn't help. Trying to find a spot which is reasonably good. Yeah, but so actually looks like turning it between centres on the lathe wasn't too far out. That was actually looking worse than it was, which would account for the fact that these spindles are actually a little bit out. Yeah, but yeah, I think that is probably going to be the best I'm going to get that with these old rims, which I'm pretty sure they're not even matched now. I think they're from different cranks. As I say, this one's got a very rounded inside corner. This one's pretty square, and they are very slightly different diameters. Not by much, but yeah, I thought these are all supposed to be matched in the factory, so yeah, everything is a little bit out anyway. But yeah, I think that'll be alright. The only thing is one of these journals, which when we first took the crank out, I noticed that was a little bit bluing on it. So I think when I put these back in, I think I'll put a bit of bearing Loctite on those, just to stop them turning, stop the inner turning on the journal. Yeah, but it's all looking good. Right, I think we cracked it. So rim is about 3 thou, and face is about 4.